households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life.
Draw thy two. Here come two of the house of Montague.
I will bite my thumb at them, which is disgrace to them if they bear it.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Is the law of our side if I say aye?
No.
No, sir. I do not bite my thumb at you, sir. But I bite my thumb, sir.
Do you quarrel, sir?
Quarrel, sir? No, sir.
And if you do, sir, I am for you. I serve as good a man as you.
No better?
Well, sir.
Say better. Here comes Tybalt.
Yes, better, sir.
You lie.
Gregory, remember thy swashing blow. Fight, if you be men.
Put up your sword. You know not what you do.
What? Art thou drawn among these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio. Look upon thy death.
I do but keep the peace. Put up thy sword or manage it to part these men with me.
What? Drawn and talk of peace? I hate the word as I hate hell, all Montagues and thee. Have at thee, coward!
What is this? Give me my sword! Give me my sword!
You men, you beasts, that quench the fire of your pernicious rage with purple fountains issuing from your veins, on pain of torture. From those bloody hands, throw your mistempered weapons to the ground and hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word, by thee, old Capulet, and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For this time, all the rest depart away. You, Capulet, shall go along with me, and Montague, come you this afternoon. Once more, on pain of death, all men depart.
Who set this ancient quarrel you approach? Speak, nephew. We abide when it began. Here were the servants of your adversary and yours close fighting ere I did approach. I drew to part them. In the instant came the fiery Tybalt with his sword prepared. While we were interchanging thrusts and blows, came more and more and fought on part and part, till the prince came, who parted either part.
Oh, where is Romeo? Saw you him today? Right glad I am he was not at this fray.
Madam, this morning early walking did I see your son, towards him I made. But he was ware of me, and stole into the covert of the wood.
Many a morning hath he there been seen, with tears augmenting the fresh morning dew, adding to clouds more clouds with his deep sighs.
My noble uncle, do you know the cause?
I neither know it nor can learn of him.
Have you importuned him by any means?
Both of myself and many other friends. Could we but learn from whence his sorrows grow, we would as willingly give cure as know.
See where he comes. So please you, step aside. I'll know his grievance, or be much denied.
Come, madam, let's away.
Good morrow, cousin.
Is the day so young?
But new struck 9.
Ah me, sad hours seem long. Was that my father that went hence so fast?
It was. What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having that which having makes them short.
In love!
Out
Of love?
out of her favor, where I am in love.
Alas, that love, so gentle in his view, should be so tyrannous and rough in proof.
Alas, that love, whose view is muffled still, should without eye see pathways to his will. Where shall we dine? Oh me, what fray was here? Yet, tell me not, for I've heard it all. Here's much to do with hate, but more with love. This love feel I feel no love in this. Dost thou not laugh?
No, cuz, I rather weep.
Good heart, at what?
At thy good heart's oppression.
Why, such is love's transgression. This love that thou hast shown to that more grief to too much of mine own. Farewell, my cousin.
Soft, I will go along, and if you leave me so, you do me wrong.
I have left myself. I am not here. This is not Romeo. He's some other where.
Tell me, in sadness, who is that you love?
In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman.
I aimed so near when I supposed you loved.
A right good marksman, and she's fair I love.
A right fair mark, fair cuz, is soonest hit.
Well, in that hit, you miss. Shall not be hit with Cupid's arrow. She hath Dian's wit, and in strong proof of chastity, well armed, from love's weak, childish bow, she lives unharmed. Oh, she is rich in beauty, only poor, that when she dies, with beauty dies her store.
Then she hath sworn that she will still live chaste?
She hath, and in that sparing makes huge waste. She hath forsworn to love, and in that vow do I live dead, that live to tell it now.
Be ruled by me, forget to think of her.
Oh, teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes, examine other beauties.
He that is strucken blind cannot forget the precious treasure of his eyesight lost. Farewell. Thou canst not teach me to forget.
I'll pay that doctrine, or else die in debt.
Montague is bound as well as I in penalty alike. And 'tis not hard, I think, for men so old as we to keep the peace.
Of honorable reckoning are you both, and pity 'tis you lived at odds so long. But now, my lord, what say you to my suit?
But saying o'er what I have said before, my child is yet a stranger in the world. She hath not seen the change of 14 years. Let 2 more summers wither in their pride ere we may think her ripe to be a bride.
Younger than she are happy mother's maid.
And too soon marred are those so early made. Earth hath swallowed all my hopes but she. She's the hopeful lady of my earth. But woo her, gentle Paris, get her heart. My will to her consent is but a part, and she agreed within her scope of choice lies my consent and fair according voice. This night I hold an old accustomed feast whereto I have invited many a guest such as I love, and you, among the store, one more most welcome makes my number more. At my poor house look to behold this night earth-treading stars that make dark heaven light. Such comfort as do lusty young men feel when well-apparelled April on the heel of limping winter treads, even such delight among fresh female buds shall you this night inherit at my house. Hear all see. And like her most, whose merit most shall be, which on more view of many, mine being one, may stand in number, though in reckoning none. Peter, come, go with me. Go, Sirrah, trudge about through fair Verona, find those persons out whose names are written there, and to them say, my house and welcome on their pleasure stay, please.
I am sent to find those persons whose names are here writ, but can never read what names the writing person hath here writ. I must to the learned. In good time.
Tut man, One fire burns out another's burning. One pain is lessened by another's anguish. Take thou some new infection to thy eye, and the rank poison of the old will die.
Ow! Your plantain leaf is excellent for that.
For what, I pray you?
For your broken shin.
Ow! Why, Romeo, art thou mad?
Not mad, but bound more than a madman is. Shut up in prison, kept without my food, whipped and tormented, and good evening, good fellow.
Doggy, good evening. I pray, sir, can you read?
Aye, mine own fortune in my misery.
Perhaps you have learned it without book. But I pray, can you read anything you see?
Aye, if I know the letters and the language.
Ye say honestly. Rest you merry.
Stay, fellow. I can read. Signor Martino and his wife. County Anselm and his beauteous sisters. The lady widow of Vitruvio. Mercutio. Mine uncle Capulet, his wife and daughters. My fair niece Rosaline. Signor Valentio and his cousin Tybalt Lucio and the lively Helena, fair assembly. Whither should they come?
Up.
Up, whither? To supper.
To our house.
Whose house?
My master's.
Indeed, I should have asked thee that before.
Now I'll tell you without asking. My master is the great, rich Capulet. And if you be not of the house of Montagues, I pray, come and crush a cup of wine. Rest you merry.
At this same ancient feast of Capulets sups the fair Rosaline, whom thou so loves, with all the admired beauties of Verona. Go thither, and with unattainted eye compare her face with some that I shall show, and I will make thee think thy swan a crow.
One fairer than my love. The all-seeing sun ne'er saw her match since first the world begun.
Sot! You saw her fair, none else being by. Herself poised with herself in either eye. But in that crystal scales, let there be weighed your lady's love against some other maid that I will show you shining at this feast, and she shall scant show well that now seems best.
I'll go along. No such sight to be shown, but to rejoice in splendor of mine own.
My daughter, call her forth to me.
Now, by my maidenhead at 12-year-old, I bade her come. What lamb, what ladybird? God forbid, where's this girl? What Juliet, Juliet, Juliet? How now, who calls? Your mother.
Madam, I'm here. What is your will? This is the matter. Nurse, give leave a while. We must talk in secret. Oh, nurse, come back again. I have remembered me. Thou'st hear our counsel. Thou knowest my daughter is of a pretty age.
Faith, I can tell her age unto an hour.
She's not 14.
I'll lay 14 of my teeth she's not 14. How long is it now to Lammas tide?
A fortnight, and odd days.
Even or odd, of all days in the year, come Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14. Susan and she, God rest all Christian souls, were of an age. Well, Susan is with God. She was too good for me. But, as I said, on Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14, that shall she marry. I remember it well. 'Tis since the earthquake now 11 years, and she was weaned, and never shall forget it, of all the days of the year upon that day. For I had then laid wormwood to my dug, sitting in the sun under the dove-house wall. My lord knew her then at Mantua, nay, I do bear a brain. But, as I said, when it did taste the wormwood on the nipple of my dug and felt it bitter, pretty fool, to see it tetchy and fall out with the dug. Shake, quoth the dove-house, 'twas no need, I trow, to bid me trudge. And since that time, it is 11 years. For then she could stand high, lone, Nay, by the rood she could have run and waddled all about, for even the day before she broke her brow, and then my husband got me with his soul. He was a merry man, took up the child. Yea, quoth he, dost thou fall upon thy face? Thou wilt fall backward. When thou hast more wit, wilt thou not, Jewel? And by my holidam, the pretty wretch left crying and said, Aye, to see now how a jest shall come about. I warrant I should live 1,000 years and never should forget it. Wilt thou not, Jewel, quoth he, a pretty fool instincted, and said, Aye. And stint thou too, I pray thee, nurse, say, Aye, peace. I have done. God mark thee to his grace. Thou wast the prettiest babe that e'er I nursed, and I might live to see thee married once. I have my wish.
Marry. That marry is the very theme I came to talk of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your dispositions to be married?
It is an honor that I dream not of.
An honor? Were not I thine only nurse, I would say thou had sucked wisdom from thy teat.
Well, think of marriage now. Younger than you here in Verona, ladies of esteem are made already mothers. By my count, I was your mother much upon these years that you are now a maid. Thus then, in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
Oh, a man, young lady, such a man as all the world. Why, he's a man of wax.
Verona's summer hath not such a flower.
Nay, he's a flower, in faith a very flower.
What say you? Can you love the gentleman? This night you shall behold him at our feast. Read o'er the volume of young Paris' face, and find delight writ there with beauty's pen. Examine every married lineament, and see how one another lends content. And what obscured in this fair volume lies, find written in the margent of his eyes. This precious book of love, this unbound lover, to beautify him only lacks a cover. So shall you share all that he doth possess, by having him, making yourself no less.
No less, nay bigger. Women grow by men.
Speak briefly. Can you like of Paris love?
I'll look to like if looking liking move. But no more deep will I endart mine eye than your consent gives strength to make it fly.
Madam! 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 The guests are come. Supper served up. You called. My young lady asked for. The nurse cursed in the pantry, and everything in extremity. I must hence to wait. I beseech you, follow straight.
We follow thee, Juliet. The county stays.
Go, girl. Seek happy nights to happy days.
What? Shall this speech be spoke for our excuse, or shall we on without apology?
Oh, the date is out of such prolixity. But let them measure us by what they will. We'll measure them a measure and begone.
Give me a torch. I am not for this ambling. Being but heavy, I will bear the light.
Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance.
Not I, believe me. You have dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead, so stakes me to the ground I cannot move.
You're a lover? Borrow Cupid's wings and soar with them above a common bound.
I'm too sore and pierced with his shaft to soar with his light feathers, and so bound. I cannot bound a pitch above dull woe. Oh. Under love's heavy burden do I sink.
And to sink in it, should you burden love, too great oppression for a tender thing.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and it pricks like thorn.
If love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for pricking, and you beat love down. Give me a case to put my visage in, a visor for a visor. What care I what curious eye doth quote deformities? Here are the beetle brow shall blush for me.
Come, knock and enter, and no sooner in, but every man betake him to his legs.
A torch for me! Let wantons light of heart tickle the senseless rushes with their heels. I'll be a candle holder, and look on.
Come, we burn daylight, ho!
Nay, that's not so.
I mean, sir, in delay we waste our lights in vain like lamps by day. Take our good meaning. Our judgment sits 5 times in that here once in our 5 wits.
And we mean well in going to this mask, but 'tis no wit to go.
Why, may one ask?
I dreamt a dream tonight.
So did I.
Well, what was yours?
That dreamers often lie.
In bed, asleep, while they do dream things, true.
Oh, then I see Queen Mab hath been with you.
What's she?
She? She's the fairy's midwife, and she comes in shape no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn with a team of little atomies over men's noses as they lie asleep. Her chariot is an empty hazelnut made by the joiner's squirrel or old grub, time out of mind the fairy's coachmakers. Her wagon spokes made of long spinner's legs, the cover of the wings of grasshoppers, her traces of the smallest spider web, her collars of the moonshine's watery beams, her whip of cricket's bone, the lash of film, her wagoner a small gray-coated gnat, not half so big as a round little worm pricked from the lazy finger of a maid. And in this state she gallops night by night through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love. Or courtiers' knees who dream on curtsies straight, or lawyers' fingers who straight dream on fees, or ladies' lips who straight on kisses dream, which oft the angry Mab with blisters plagues, because their breaths with sweetmeats tainted are. Sometimes she gallops o'er a courtier's nose, and then dreams he of smelling out a suit. Sometime comes she with a tithe pig's tail, tickling a parson's nose as he lies asleep, and then he dreams of another benefice. Sometime she gallops o'er a soldier's neck, and then dreams he of cutting foreign throats, of breaches, ambuscados, Spanish blades, of hells 5 fathom deep, and anon drums in his ear, at which he starts and wakes, and being thus affrighted, swears a prayer or two, and sleeps again. This is that very Mab that plats the manes of horses in the night and bakes the elf locks in foul, sluttish hairs, which once untangled, much misfortune bodes. This is the hag, when maids lie on their backs, that presses them and learns them first to bear, making them women of good carriage. This is she.
Peace, Mercutio, peace. Thou talk'st of nothing.
True. I talk of dreams, which are the children of an idle brain, begot of nothing but vain fantasy, which is as thin of substance as the air, and more inconstant than the wind.
This wind you talk of blows us from ourselves. Supper is done, we shall come too late.
I fear too early. For my mind misgives some consequence, yet hanging in the stars shall bitterly begin his fearful date with this night's revels, and expire the term of a despised life, closed in my breast by some vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that hath the steerage of my course direct my sail. On, lusty gentlemen!
Strike down! Come, Romeo, come!
gentlemen, I have seen the day that I have worn a visor and could tell a whispering tale in a fair lady's ear, or such as would please. 'Tis gone. No. 'Tis gone. No. 'Tis gone. You are welcome, gentlemen. Come, musicians, play.
My lord.
A hole, give room and foot it, girls. Nay, sit, good cousin Capulet, for you and I are past our dancing days. How long is it now since last yourself and I were in a mask?
Fair lady, 30 years.
What, man? 'Tis not so much, 'tis not so much. 'Tis since the nuptial of Lucentio come Pentecost as quickly as it will, some 25 years, and then we marry.
Nay, 'tis more, 'tis more. The son is elder, sir. The son is 30.
Will you tell me that his son was but a ward 2 years ago?
What lady's that which doth enrich the hand of yonder knight?
I know not, sir.
Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night as a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows as yonder lady or her fellow shows. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and touching hers, make blessed my rude hand. Did my heart love till now? Forswear its sight, for I ne'er saw true beauty till this night.
This, by his voice, should be a Montague. Fetch me my rapier, boy. What? Dares the slave come hither, covered with an antic face, to fleer and scorn at our solemnity? Now, by the stock and honor of my kin, to strike him dead, I hold it not a sin.
Why, how now, kinsman? Wherefore storm you so?
Uncle, this is a Montague, our foe, a villain that is hither come in spite to scorn at our solemnity this night.
Young Romeo, is it?
'Tis he, that villain Romeo.
Well, content thee, gentle coz, and let him alone. He bears him like a courtly gentleman, and to say truth, Verona brags of him to be a virtuous and well-governed youth. I would not for all the wealth in this town, here in my house, do him disparagement. Therefore be patient, and take no note of him. It is my will, the which if thou respect, show a fair presence, and put off these frowns, an ill-beseeming semblance for a feast.
It fits when such a villain is a guest. I'll not endure him.
He shall be endured. What, goodman boy? I say he shall. Go to her. Am I the master here, or you? Go to. You'll not endure him. God shall mend my soul. You'll make a mutiny among my guests. You will set cock a hoop. You'll be the man.
My uncle, 'tis a shame.
Go to. You are a saucy boy. Is so indeed. Now, this trick may chance to scathe you. I know what. You must contrary me. Marry, 'tis time. Well said, my hearts. Well said. Now, you are a princox. Go.
'Tis a shame.
Be quiet for more wine. More wine. For shame. I'll make you quiet, what? Cheerly, my hearts.
Patience, perforce, with willful choler meeting, makes my flesh tremble in their different greeting. I will withdraw.
If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle sin is this: my lips, Two blushing pilgrims ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. The saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss.
Have not saints lips, and holy palmers too?
Aye, pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer.
Oh then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray. Grant thou, lest faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake.
Then move not, while my prayer's effect I take. Thus from my lips, by thine, my sin is purged.
And have my lips the sin that they have took?
Sin from my lips? Oh, trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again.
You kiss by the book.
Madam, your mother craves a word with you.
What is her mother?
Mary, bachelor, her mother is the lady of the house, and a good lady, and a wise and virtuous. I nursed her daughter that you talked withal. I tell you, he that can lay hold of her shall have the chinks.
Is she a Capulet? Oh, dear account, my life is my foe's debt.
Away, be gone! The sport is at the best.
Aye, so I fear. The more is my unrest.
Romeo!
Nay, gentlemen, prepare not to be gone. We have a trifling, foolish banquet towards.
My lord, we have an appointment with the prince.
Oh, is he and so? Why, then I thank you all.
Maestro!
Oh, fair, sweet face, eye celestial bright, twin stars in heaven that now adorn the night. Good night!
I thank you, honest gentlemen. Good night. Come on, then, let's to bed. It waxes late.
Good night. Come hither, nurse. What's he that follows here that would not dance?
I know not.
Go ask his name. If he be married, my grave is like to be my wedding bed.
His name is Romeo, and a Montague, the only son of your great enemy.
My only love, sprung from my only hate, too early seen unknown, and known too late. Prodigious birth of love it is to me that I must love a loathed enemy.
What's this? What's this?
A rhyme I learnt even now, of one I danced withal.
Anon, anon. Come, let's away.
This intrusion shall, now seeming sweet, convert to bitterest gall.
The strangers are all gone.
Can I go forward when my heart is here? Turn back, dull earth, and find thy center out.
Oh my God! Romeo! My cousin, Romeo! Romeo!
He's wise. All my life he's stolen him home to bed.
He ran this way and leapt this orchard wall. Call, good Mercutio.
Nay, I'll conjure too. Romeo, humor's passion, madman, lover. Appear thou in the likeness of a sigh. Speak but one rhyme, and I'm satisfied. Cry but I me, pronounce but love and dove.
He stirreth not. He heareth not.
Oh, he moveth not. The ape is dead, and I must conjure him. I conjure thee by Rosaline's bright eyes, by her high forehead and her scarlet lip, fine foot, straight leg, and quivering thigh, and the domains that there adjacent lie. That in thy likeness thou appear to us.
And if he hear thee, thou wilt anger him.
This cannot anger him. 'Twould anger him to raise a spirit of some strange nature in his mistress' circle, letting it there stand till she hath laid it and conjured it down. That was some spite. My invocation is fair and honest. In his mistress' name, I conjure only but to raise up him.
Come! He hath hid himself among these trees to be consorted with the humorous night. Blind is his love, and best befits the dark.
If love be blind, love cannot hit the mark. Now, will he sit under a medlar tree and wish his mistress were that kind of fruit, as maids call medlars when they laugh alone? Oh, Romeo, that she were. Oh, that she were an open arse and thou a popper in pear! Oh, doomed. Romeo, good night. Out of my truckle bed. This field bed is too cold for me to sleep. Come, shall we go?
Go then. For 'tis in vain to seek him here that means not to be found. He jests at scars that never felt a wound, but soft, what light through yonder window breaks. It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who's already sick and pale with grief that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious. Her vestal livery is but sick and green, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off. It is my lady. Oh, it is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses. I will answer it. I'm too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all the heavens, having some business, do entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres till they return. What if her eyes were there, they in her head? The brightness of her cheek would shame those stars as daylight doth a lamp. Her eyes in heaven would through the airy region stream so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. See how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
Ay me.
She speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel.
that thou art as glorious to this night, being o'er my head, as is a winged messenger of heaven unto the white, upturned, wondering eyes of mortals that fall back to gaze on him when he bestrides the lazy, pacing clouds and sails upon the bosom of the air.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name. Or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more? Shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other word would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. Romeo, doff thy name, and for thy name, which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized henceforth. I never will be Romeo.
What man art thou that thus bescreened in night so stumblest on my counsel?
By a name I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself because it is an enemy to thee. Had I it written, I would tear the word.
My ears have yet not drunk 100 words of thy tongue's uttering, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo and a Montague?
Neither, fair maid, if either thee dislike.
How came thou hither? Tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here.
With love's light wings did I o'erperch these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out. And what love can do, that dares love attempt. Therefore thy kinsmen are no stop to me.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
I have night's cloak to hide me from their eyes. And but thou love me, let them find me here.
By whose direction foundst thou out this place?
By love, that first did prompt me to inquire. He lent me counsel, and I lent him eyes. I am no pilot, yet wert thou as far as that vast shore wash with the farthest sea, I should adventure for such merchandise.
Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoke. But farewell, compliment. Dost thou love me?
Oh.
I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. Yet, if thou swearest, thou mayest prove false. At lovers' perjuries, they say Jove laughs. Oh, gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or if thou thinkest I am too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay, so that thou wilt woo. But else, not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond. And therefore thou mayest think my havior light. But trust me, gentlemen, I'll prove more true than those that have more cunning to be strange. I should have been more strange, I must confess. But that thou overheard ere I was ware, my true love passion. Therefore pardon me, and not impute this yielding to light love, which the dark night has so discovered.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon I vow, that tips with silver all these fruit tree tops.
Oh, swear not by the moon. The inconstant moon that monthly changes in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all. Or if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self, which is the God of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee.
If my heart's dear love...
Well, do not swear. Although I joy in thee, I have no joy of this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning which does cease to be, ere one can say it lightens. Sweet, good night. This bud of love, by summer's ripening breath, may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night, good night. Sweet repose and rest come to thy heart, as that within my breast.
Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine.
I gave thee mine before thou didst request it. And yet I would it were to give again.
Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose, love?
But to be frank, and give it thee again. And yet I wish but for the thing I have. My bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love is deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite. I hear some noise within. Dear love, adieu. Anon, good nurse. Sweet Montague, be true. Stay but a little. I will come again.
Oh, blessed, blessed night. I'm afeard being in night, all this is but a dream. Too flattering, sweet to be substantial.
3 words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If that thy bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow by one that I'll procure to come to thee, where and what time thou wilt perform the rite, and all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world.
Madam?
I come anon, but if thou meanest not well, I do beseech thee.
Madam!
By and by come, to cease thy strife, and leave me to my grief. Tomorrow will I send.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night.
1,000 times the worse to want thy light. Love goes toward love as schoolboys from their books, but love from love toward school with heavy looks. It is my soul that calls upon my name.
Romeo.
My soul.
What o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee?
By the hour of 9.
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 year till then. No. I did forget why I did call thee back.
Let me stand here till thou remember it.
I shall forget to have thee still stand there, remembering how I love thy company.
And I'll still stay, to have thee still forget, forgetting any other home but this.
'Tis almost morning. I would have thee gone, and yet no farther than a wanton's bird that lets it hop a little from her hand, like a poor prisoner in his twisted gyves, and with a silken thread plucks him back again. So loving, jealous of his liberty.
I would I were thy bird.
Sweet, so would I. Yet I should kill thee with much cherishing. Good night. Good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow.
Sleep dwell upon thine eyes, peace in thy breast. Would I were sleep and peace, so sweet to rest. Hence will I to my ghostly father's cell, his help to crave, and my dear hap to tell.
The grey-eyed morn smiles on the frowning night, checkering the eastern clouds with streaks of light. Now, ere the sun advance his burning eye, the day to cheer and night's dank dew to dry, I must upfill this osier cage of ours with baleful weeds and precious juiced flowers. Oh, mighty is the powerful grace that lies in plants, herbs, stones, and their true qualities. Within the infant rind of this weak flower, poison hath residence and medicine power. For this being smelt with that part cheers each part, being tasted stays all senses with the heart.
Good morrow, Father.
Benedicite. What early tongue so sweet saluteth me?
Father.
Young son, thy earliness doth me assure thou art aroused with some distemperature. Or if not so, and here I hit it right, our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight.
The last is true. The sweeter rest was mine.
God pardon sin. Wast thou with Rosaline?
With Rosaline, my ghostly father? No. I have forgot that name. And that name's woe.
That's my good son. But where hast thou been then?
I'll tell thee ere thou ask it me again. I have been feasting with mine enemy, where on a sudden one hath wounded me that's by me wounded. Both are remedies within thy help, and holy physic lies.
Be plain, good son, and homely in thy drift. Riddling confession finds but riddling shrift.
Then plainly know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine on her, so hers is set on mine, and all combined, save what thou must combine by holy marriage. When and where and how we met, we wooed and made exchange of vows, I'll tell thee as we pass. But this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today.
Holy St. Francis, what a change is here. Is Rosaline that thou didst love so dear, so soon forsaken? Jesu Maria! What a deal of brine hath washed thy sallow cheek for Rosaline. Lo, here upon thy cheek the stain doth sit of an old tear that's not washed off yet.
Thou chidst me off for loving Rosaline.
For doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
And badst me bury love.
Not in a grave, to lay one in, another out to have.
I pray thee chide me not. Her that I love now doth grace for grace, and love for love allow. The other did not so.
Oh, she knew well thy love did read by rote that could not spell. But come, young waverer, come go with me. In one respect, I'll thy assistant be. For this alliance may so happy prove to turn your household's rancor to pure love.
Oh, let us hence. I stand on sudden haste.
Wisely and slow. They stumble that run fast.
Where the devil should this Romeo be? Came he not home last night?
Not to his father's, I spoke with his man.
Why, that same pale, hard-hearted wench, that Rosaline, torments him so that he'll sure run mad.
Tybalt, the kinsman to old Capulet, hath sent a letter to his father's house.
A challenge on my life.
Romeo will answer it.
Any man that can write can answer a letter.
Nay, he will answer the letter's master how he dares, being dared.
Alas, poor Romeo, he's already dead. Stabbed with a white wench's black eye.
Oh.
Run through the ear with a love song, the very pin of his heart cleft with the blind boboy's butt shaft. And is he a man to encounter Tybalt?
Why, what is Tybalt?
More than Prince of Cats, I can tell you. Oh, he's the courageous captain of compliments. He fights, as you sing prick song, keeps time, distance, and proportion. He rests, his minim rests, 1, 2, and the third in your bosom. A very butcher of a silk button. A duelist, a gentleman of the very first house, of the first and second cause. Oh, the immortal passado, the punto reverso, the hey!
What?
The pox! Such antic, lisping, affecting fantasticos, these new tuners of accent. Bas Jésus, a very good blade, a very tall man, a very good whore. Why, is it not a lamentable thing that we should be thus afflicted with these strange flies, these fashion mongers, these pardonnez-mois, who stand so much on the new form, they cannot sit at ease on the old bench?
Here comes Romeo. Here comes Romeo.
Without his robe, like a dried herring. Oh, flesh, flesh, how art thou fishified?
Good morrow to you both.
Signor Romeo, bonjour. That's French. A salutation to your French slop. You gave us the counterfeit fairly last night.
What counterfeit did I give you?
The slip, sir, the slip. Can you not conceive?
Pardon, good Mercutio. My business was great, and in such a case as mine, a man may strain courtesy.
That's as much as to say, such a case as yours constrains a man to bow in the hands.
Meaning to curtsy.
That's most kindly hit it.
A most courteous exposition.
Yeah, I'm very pink of courtesy.
Pink for flower.
Right.
Well, then is my pump well flowered?
Oh, come between us, good Benvolio, my wits faint.
Swits and spurs, or I'll cry a match.
Nay, if our wits run the wild goose chase, I'm done. For thou hast more of the wild goose in one of thy wits, and I'm sure I have in the whole 5. Was I with you there for the, goose?
Thou was never with me for anything when thou was not there for the goose.
Why, is not this better now than groaning for love? Now art thou sociable, now art thou Romeo, now art thou what thou art, by art as well as by nature. For this driveling love is like a great natural that runs lolling up and down to hide his bauble in a hole.
Stop there!
Here's goodly gear.
Ooh, a sail, sail!
Two, a shirt and a smock.
Peter?
Anon?
My fan, Peter.
Good Peter to hide her face, for her Fanny's the fairer face.
God ye good morrow, gentlemen.
God ye good e'en, fair gentlewoman.
Is it good e'en?
'Tis no less, I tell ye, for the bawdy hand of the dial is now upon the prick of noon.
Out upon you! What a man are you?
One gentlewoman that God hath made for himself to mar.
By my troth, it is well said. For himself to mar, quotha? Ha! Gentlemen, can any of you tell me where I may find the young Romeo?
I'm the youngest of that name, for fault of a worse.
You say well.
Yea, is the worst well?
If you be he, sir, I desire some confidence with you.
She will indict him to some supper.
Aboard! 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 So ho!
What is that?
No hair, sir! Unless a hair, sir, and a Lenten pie. Oh, it's something stale, and it be spent. Romeo, come here, father's will to dinner thither.
I will follow you!
You old hair whore! Ba-dum-bum-bum. You old hair whore! Ba-dum-bum-bum. You are very good meat in Lent, but a hair that's whore!
Sir, what saucy merchant was this that was so full of his ropery?
A gentleman, nurse, that loves to hear himself talk and will speak more in a minute than he will stand to in a month.
And he speak anything against me, I'll take him down. Anyone lustier than he is, and 20 such jacks. And if I cannot, I shall find those that shall. I am none of his flirt gills, I am none of his skeins mates. And thou must stand by too and suffer every knave to use me at his pleasure.
I saw no man use you at his pleasure. If I had, my weapon should quickly have been out. I warrant you, I dare draw as soon as another man.
For God, I am so vexed that every part about me quivers. Pray you, sir, a word. And as I told you, my young lady bid me inquire you out. What she bid me say, I will keep to myself. But first let me tell ye, if ye should lead her into a fool's paradise, as they say, it were a very gross kind of behaviour, as they say, for the gentlewoman is young, and therefore, if you should deal double with her, truly it were an ill thing to be offered to any gentlewoman, and very weak dealing.
Nurse, commend me to thy lady and mistress. I protest unto thee.
Good heart, and if faith I will tell her as much. Lord, Lord, she will be a joyful woman.
What wilt thou tell her, nurse? Thou dost not mark me.
I will tell her, sir, that you do protest, which, as I take it, is a gentlemanlike offer.
Nurse, bid her devise some means to come to Shrift this afternoon, and there she shall at Friar Lawrence cell be shrived and married. Here is for thy pains.
Oh, no, sir, truly, not a penny.
Go to, I say you shall.
This afternoon, sir? Well, she shall be there.
And stay thee, good nurse, behind the abbey wall. Within this hour, my man shall be with thee, and bring thee cords made like a tackled stair, which, to the high, to gallant of my joy, must be my convoy in the secret night. Farewell. Be trusty, and I'll quit thy pains. Farewell. Commend me to thy lady.
Now God in heaven bless thee. Harkye, sir.
What say so, my dear nurse?
Is your man secret? Did you ne'er hear say, two may keep counsel, putting one away?
I warrant thee, my man is as true as steel.
Well, sir, my mistress is the sweetest lady, Lord, when 'twas a little prating thing. Oh. There is a nobleman in town, one Paris, that would fain lay knife aboard, but she, good soul, had as lief see a toad, a very toad, to see him.
Farewell. Commend me to thy lady.
Aye, 1,000 times. Peter?
Anon!
Before, and a pace. Stand me!
Struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Perchance she cannot meet him. That's not so. Oh, she is lame! Love's herald should be thoughts, which 10 times faster glides, and the sun's beams driving back shadows over lowering hills. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of this day's journey. From 9 till 12 is 3 long hours, yet she is not come. Had she affections and warm youthful blood, she would be as swift in motion as a ball. My words would bandy her to my sweet love, and his to me. But old folks, many fain as they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy and pale as lead. Oh, God, she comes! Oh, honey, nurse, what news? Hast thou met with him? Send thy man away.
Peter, stay at the gate.
Anon.
Now, good sweet nurse. Oh, Lord, why lookest thou sad? Though news be sad, yet tell them merrily. If good, thou shamest the music of sweet news by playing it to me with so sour a face.
I am aweary. Give me leave a while. Fie, how my bones ache. What a jaunts have I.
I would thou had my bones and I thy news. Nay, come, I pray thee, speak. Good nurse, speak.
Teach you what haste. Can you not stay a while? Do you not see that I am out of breath?
How art thou out of breath, when thou hast breath to say to me that thou art out of breath? Is thy news good or bad? Answer to that.
Well, you have made a simple choice. You know not how to choose a man. Romeo? No, not he. Go thy ways, wench. Serve God. What, have you dined at home?
No. What says he of our marriage? What of that?
Oh, Lord, how my head aches. What a head have I. It beats as it would fall in 20 pieces. Oh, my back. Oh. T'other side. Oh, my back, my back. Beshrew your heart for sending me about to catch my death with jauncing up and down.
In faith, I am sorry thou art not well. Sweet, sweet, sweet nurse. Tell me, what says my love?
Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a courteous, and a kind, and a handsome, and a warrant of virtuous. Where's your mother?
Where's my mother? Why, she is within. Where should she be? How oddly thou repliest. Your love says like an honest gentleman. Where is your mother?
Oh, God's lady dear, are you so hot? Marry, come up, I trow. Is this the poultice for my aching bones? Henceforward do your messages yourself.
Oh, yes, such a coil. Come. What says Romeo?
Have you got leave to go to shrift today?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Now comes the wanton blood up in your cheeks. They'll be in scarlet straight at any news. Hie you to church. I must another way to fetch a ladder by the which your love must climb a bird's nest soon when it is dark. I am the drudge and toil in your delight, but you shall bear the burden soon at night. Go! I'll to dinner. Hie you to the cell.
Hie to high fortune. Honest nurse, farewell.
So smile the heavens on this holy act, that after hours with sorrow chide us not.
Amen. Amen. But come what sorrow can, it cannot countervail the exchange of joy that one short minute gives me in her sight. Do thou but close our hands with holy words, then love devouring death, do what he dare. It is enough, I may but call her mine.
These violent delights have violent ends, therefore love moderately. Long love doth so, too swift arrives as tardy as too slow. Here comes the lady. Oh, so light of foot will ne'er wear out the everlasting flint. A lover may bestride the gossamer that idles in the wanton summer air and yet not fall. So light is vanity.
Good even to my ghostly confessor.
Romeo shall thank thee, daughter, for us both.
As much to him, else is his thanks too much.
Juliet, if the measure of thy joy be heaped like mine, and that thy skill be more to blazon it, then sweeten with thy breath this neighbor air.
They are but beggars that can count their worth. But my true love has grown to such excess, I cannot sum up some of half my wealth.
Come with me, and we will make short work, for by your leaves you shall not stay alone till Holy Church incorporates two in one.
Mercutio, let's retire. The day is hot. The capitals are abroad, and if we meet, we shall not scape a brawl. For now, these hot days is the mad blood stirring.
No, I like one of these fellows that when he enters the confines of a tavern, claps me his sword upon the table and cries, God, send me no need of thee, and by the operation of the second cup, draws him on the drawer when indeed there is no need.
Am I like such a fellow?
Come, thou art as hot a jack in thy mood as any in Italy, and as soon moved to be moody, and as soon moody to be moved.
And what two?
Nay, and there were two such, but if none shortly, for one would kill the other. Oh. Thou wilt quarrel with a man that hath a hair more or a hair less in his beard than thou hast. Thou wilt quarrel with a man for cracking nuts, having no other reason but because thou hast hazel eyes. Thou hast quarreled with a man for coughing in the street because he'd wakened thy dog that had lain asleep in the sun, and yet thou wilt tutor me from quarreling?
By my head, here comes the Capulets.
By my heel, I care not.
Follow me close, for I will speak to them. Gentlemen, good e'en. A word with one of you.
And but one word with one of us? Couple it with something. Make it a word and a blow.
You shall find me apt enough to that, sir. And you shall give me occasion.
Could you not take some occasion without giving?
Mercutio, thou consortest with Romeo.
Consort? Dost thou make us minstrels? And thou make minstrels of us, look to hear nothing but discord. Here's me fiddlestick, here's that shall make you dance, zoons. Consort?
We talk here in the public haunt of men. Either withdrawn to some private place, or reason coldly of your grievances, or else depart. Here all eyes gaze on us.
Men's eyes were made to look, and let them gaze. I will not budge for no man's pleasure, I.
Well, peace be with you, sir. Here comes my man.
And I'll be hanged, sir, if he wear your livery. Marry, go before the field, he'll be your follower. Your worship may in that sense call him man.
Romeo! The love I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain!
Tybalt, the reason that I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain am I none. Therefore farewell. I see thou know'st me not.
Boy! This shall not excuse the injuries that thou hast done me. Therefore turn and fight!
I do protest I never injured thee, but love thee better than thou canst devise, so thou shalt know the reason of my love. And so, good Capulet, which name I tender as dearly as mine own, be satisfied.
Oh, calm, dishonorable, vile submission! Aristocata carries it away! Tybalt, you rat catcher! Will you walk?
What wouldst thou have with me?
Good king of cats, nothing but one of your 9 lives. That I mean to make bold withal, and as you shall use me hereafter, dry beat the rest of the 8. Will you pluck your sword out of his pilcher by the ears? Make haste, lest mine be about your ears ere it be out.
I am for you!
Mercutio, put thy weapon up!
Come, sir! You're passado!
Drop and roll your feet down their weapons! Gentlemen, for shame! Forbear this outrage! Tybalt! Mercutio! The prince expressly hath forbid this banding in one of the streets! Away! Away!
I'm hurt. A plague on both your houses. Sped. Is he gone and hath nothing?
What? Art thou hurt?
Aye. Scratch. Marry, 'tis enough. Go, villain. Fetch a surgeon.
Whoa. Courage, man. The hurt cannot be much.
No, 'tis not so deep as a well, nor so wide as a church door, but 'tis enough 'twill serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave man. I'm peppered, I warrant, for this world. A plague on both your houses. Soon, a dog, a rat, a mouse, a cat to scratch a man to death, a braggart, a rogue, a villain that fights by the book of arithmetic. Why the devil came you between us? I was hurt under your arm.
I thought all for the best.
Help me into some house, Benvolio, or I shall faint. A plague on both your houses. They've made worms meat of me. I have it. Soundly, too. Your houses.
This gentleman, the prince is near ally, my very friend, hath got this mortal hurt in my behalf. My reputation stained with Tybalt's slander. Tybalt, that an hour hath been my cousin. Oh, sweet Juliet, thy beauty hath made me effeminate, and in my temper softened valor's steel.
Romeo! Romeo! Brave Mercutio is dead. That gallant spirit hath aspired the clouds, which too untimely here did scorn the earth.
This day's black fate on more days doth depend. This but begins the woe. Others must end.
Here comes the furious Tybalt back again.
Alive, in triumph, and Mercutio slain. Away to heaven, respective lenity, and fire-eyed fury be my conduct now. Now, Tybalt, take the villain back again that late thou gavest me. For Mercutio's soul is but a little way above our heads, staying for thine to keep him company. Either thou, or I, or both must go with him.
The wretched boy that did consort him here shalt with him hence.
This shall determine that!
Romeo! Romeo, away, be gone! The citizens are up and Tybalt slain. Stand not amazed. The prince will doom thee death if thou art taken. Hence, be gone away!
I am fortune's fool!
Why dost thou stay?
Go! Which way ran he that killed Mercutio?
Up, sir, go with me. I charge you in the prince's name, obey!
Where are the vile beginners of this fray? O noble prince, I can discover all the unlucky manage of this fatal brawl. There lies the man slain by young Romeo, that slew thy kinsman, brave Mercutio.
Tybalt!
Tybalt, my cousin or my brother's child. Oh, prince, oh, cousin, husband. The blood is spilt of my dear kinsman. Princess, thou art true, for blood of ours shed blood of Montague! Oh, cousin.
Benvolio! Who began this bloody fray? Tybalt, here slain, whom Romeo's hand did slay. An envious thrust from Tybalt hit the life of stout Mercutio, and then Tybalt fled. But by and by comes back to Romeo, and to it they go like lightning. For ere I could draw to part them was stout Tybalt slain. And as he fell did Romeo turn and fly. This is the truth. Or let Benvolio die.
He is a kinsman to the Montague. Affection makes him false, he speaks not true. I beg for justice, which thou, prince, must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live!
Romeo slew him. He slew Mercutio. Who now the price of his dear blood doth owe?
Not Romeo's, prince. He was Mercutio's friend. His fault concludes, but what the law should end. The life of Tybalt.
And for that offense, immediately we do exile him hence. I have an interest in your hate's proceeding. My blood for your rude brawls doth lie a-bleeding. But I'll amerce you with so strong a fine that you shall all repent the loss of mine. I will be deaf to pleading and excuses. Nor tears nor prayers shall purchase our abuses. Therefore use none. Let Romeo hence in haste, else when he is found, that hour is his last. Bear hence this body, and attend our will. Mercy but murders, pardoning those that kill.
Gallop apace, you fiery-footed steeds, towards Phoebus' lodging. Such a wagoner as Phaeton would whip you to the west, and bring in cloudy night immediately. Spread thy close curtain, love-performing night. The runaway's eyes may wink, and Romeo leap to these arms, untalked of and unseen. Lovers can see to do their amorous rites by their own beauties, or if love be blind, it best agrees with night. Come, civil knight, the sober-suited matron, all in black, and learn me how to lose a winning match, played for a pair of stainless maidenhoods. Hood, my unmanned blood bathing in my cheeks, with thy black mantle, till strange love grow bold. Think true love acted simple modesty. Come, night, come, Romeo, come thou day in night, for thou wilt lie upon the wings of night, whiter than new snow upon a raven's back. Come, gentle night, come, loving, black-browed night, give me my Romeo. And when he shall die, take him and cut him into little stars, and he shall make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night, and pay no worship to the garish sun. Oh, I have bought the mansion of a love, but not possessed it. And though I am sold, not yet enjoyed. So tedious is this day, as is the night before some festival to an impatient child that hath new robes and may not wear them. Oh, here comes my nurse. Now, nurse, what news? What hast thou there? The cords that Romeo bid thee fetch?
Aye, the cords.
Ay me, what news? Why dost thou wring thy hands?
Ah, where a day he's dead, he's dead, he's dead. Alack, the day he's gone, he's killed, he's dead.
Can heaven be so envious?
Romeo can, though heaven cannot. Oh, Romeo, Romeo, whoever would have thought it? Romeo.
What devil art thou that dost torment me thus? This torture should be roared in dismal hell. Hath Romeo slain himself?
I saw the wound. I saw it with mine eyes. A piteous corse, a bloody piteous corse, pale, pale as ashes, all bedaubed in blood, all in gore blood. I swooned at the sight. Oh, break my heart. Poor bankrupt, break at once. Oh, Tybalt, Tybalt, the best friend I had. Oh, courteous Tybalt, honest gentleman, that ever I should live to see thee dead.
What storm is this that blows so contrary? Is Romeo slaughtered and is Tybalt dead? Then dreadful trumpet, sound the general doom. For who are living if those two are gone?
Tybalt is gone, and Romeo banished. Romeo that killed him, he is banished.
Oh, God. Did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood?
It did. Alas, the day it did.
Oh, serpent heart. Hid with a flowering face. Was ever book containing such vile matter so fairly bound? Oh, that deceit should dwell in such a gorgeous palace.
There's no trust, no faith, no honesty in men. All perjured, all forsworn, all naught, all dissemblers. Shame come to Romeo.
Blessed be thy tongue for such a wish. He was not born to shame. Upon his brow shame is a shame to sit. What a beast was I to chide at him.
Will you speak well of him that killed your cousin?
Shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? Ah, poor my lord, what tongue shall smooth thy name when I, thy 3 hours wife, have mangled it? But wherefore, villain, didst thou kill my cousin? That villain cousin would have killed my husband. Back. Foolish tears. Back to your native spring. My husband lives, that Tybalt would have slain, and Tybalt's dead, that would have slain my husband. All this is comfort. Wherefore weep I then? Some word there was, worse than Tybalt's death. Tybalt is dead, and Romeo banished. Romeo is banished. To speak that word is father, mother, Tybalt, Romeo, Juliet, all slain, all dead. Romeo is banished. There is no end, no limit, measure bound in that word's death. No words can that woe sound. Where is my father and my mother, nurse?
Weeping and wailing over Tybalt's corse. Will you go to them? I will bring you thither.
Take up the cords. Poor ropes, you are beguiled, both you and I. Romeo is exiled. He made you for a highway to my bed. I am maid, die, maiden widowed. Come, cords. Come, nurse. I'll to my wedding bed. And death, not Romeo, take my maiden head.
Hie to your chamber. I'll find Romeo to comfort you. I wot well where he is, harkee. Your Romeo will be here at night. I'll to him. He is hid at Lawrence' cell.
Oh, find him. Give this ring to my true knight, and bid him come to take his last farewell.
Romeo, come forth. Come forth, thou fearful man.
Father, what news? What is the prince's doom? What sorrow craves acquaintance at my hand that I yet know not?
Too familiar is my dear son with such sour company. I bring thee tidings of the prince's doom.
What less than doomsday is the prince's doom?
A gentler judgment vanished from his lips. Not body's death, but body's banishment.
Ah? Banishment? Be merciful. Say death. For exile hath more terror in his look, much more than death. Do not say banishment.
Hence from Verona art thou banished. Be patient, for the world is broad and wide.
There is no world without Verona walls. But purgatory, torture, hell itself, hence banished is banished from the world. And world's exile is death, and banished is death, mistermed. Calling death banished, thou cutt'st my head off with a golden axe and smilest upon the stroke that murders me.
Oh, deadly sin! Oh, rude unthankfulness! Thy fault our law calls death, but the kind prince taking thy part hath rushed aside the law and turned that black word death to banishment. This is dear mercy, and thou seest it not.
'Tis torture and not mercy. Heaven is here, where Juliet lives. And every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing live here in heaven and may look on her, but Romeo may not. More validity, more honorable state, more courtship lives in carrion flies than Romeo. They may seize on the white wonder of dear Juliet's hand and steal immortal blessing from her lips, but Romeo may not. He is banished. Oh, friar, the damned use that word in hell. Howling attends it. How hast thou the heart, being a divine, a ghostly confessor, a sin absolver, and my friend professed, to mangle me with that word? Banish it.
Thou fond madman, hear me a little speak.
Thou would speak again of banishment.
I'll give thee armor to keep off that word, adversity's sweet milk, philosophy to comfort thee, though thou art banished.
Yet banished. Hang up philosophy. Unless philosophy can make a Juliet, displant a town, reverse a prince's doom, it helps not, it prevails not. Talk no more.
Oh, then I see that madmen have no ears.
How should they when that wise men have no eyes?
Let me dispute with thee of thy estate.
Thou canst not speak of that thou dost not feel. Wert thou as young as I, Juliet thy love, an hour but married, Tybalt murdered, doting like me, and like me banished, then mightst thou speak. Then mightst thou tear thy hair and fall upon the ground as I do now, taking the measure of an unmade grave.
Arise, one knocks. Good Romeo, hide thyself. Hark, how they knock. Who's there? Romeo, arise, thou wilt be taken. Stay a while. Stand up, run to my study. By and by, God's will, what simpleness is this? I come. Who knocks so loud? Whence come you? What's your will?
I come from Lady Juliet.
Welcome, then.
Oh, Holy Friar. Oh, tell me, Holy Friar, where is my lady's lord? Where's Romeo?
There, on the ground with his own tears made drunk.
Oh, he is even in my mistress' case, just in her case. Even so lies she, blubbering and weeping, weeping and blubbering. Stand up! Stand up! Stand, and you be a man! For Juliet's sake, for her sake, rise and stand.
Nurse.
Ah, sir. Ah, sir, death's the end of all.
Spakest thou of Juliet? How is it with her? Where is she? And how doth she? And what says my concealed lady to our cancelled love?
Oh, sir, she says nothing, but weeps and weeps, and now falls on her bed, and then starts up, and Tybalt calls, and then on Romeo cries, and then down falls again.
As if that name, shot from the deadly level of a gun, did murder her. Has that name's cursed hand murdered her kinsman? Oh, tell me, friar, tell me, in what vile part of this anatomy doth my name lodge? Tell me, that I may sack the hateful mansion!
Hold thy desperate hand! Art thou a man? By my holy order, I thought thy disposition better tempered. Hast thou slain Tybalt? Wilt thou slay thyself and slay thy lady that in thy life lives by doing damned hate upon thyself? What roused thee, man? Thy Juliet is alive, for whose dear sake thou wast but lately dead. There art thou happy. Tybalt would kill thee, but thou slewest Tybalt. There art thou happy. The law which threatened death becomes thy friend and turns it to exile. There art thou happy. A pack of blessings light upon thy back. Happiness courts thee in her. Go, get thee to thy love as was decreed. Ascend her chamber hence and comfort her. Go before nurse, commend me to thy lady, and bid her hasten all the house to bed which heavy sorrow makes them apt unto. Romeo is coming.
Oh, Lord, I could have stayed here all the night to hear good counsel. Oh, what learning is. My lord, I'll tell my lady you will come.
Do so, and bid my sweet prepare to chide.
Here, sir, a ring she bid me give you, sir. Hie you, make haste, for it grows very late.
How well my comfort is revived by this.
Go hence, good night, and here stands all your state. Either be gone before the watch be set, or by the break of day disguised from hence. Sojourn in Mantua. I'll find out thy man, and he shall signify from time to time every good hap that chances to thee here. Give me thy hand. It is late. Farewell. Good night.
But that a joy, past joy, calls out on me. It were a grief so brief to part with thee.
God bless you.
Farewell.
Things have fallen out, sir, so unluckily that we have had no time to move our daughter. Look you, she loved her kinsman Tybalt dearly. And so did I. Well, we were born to die. 'Tis very late, she'll not come down tonight. I promise you, but for your company, I would have been abed an hour ago.
These times of woe afford no times to woo. Madam, good night. Commend me to your daughter.
I will, and know her mind early tomorrow. Tonight she's mewed up to her heaviness.
Good night. Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender of my child's love. I think she will be ruled in all respects by me. Nay, more, I doubt it not. Wife, go you to her ere you go to bed. Acquaint her here of my son Paris' love, and bid her, mark you me, on Wednesday next. But soft, what day is this?
Monday, my lord.
Monday? Well. Wednesday is too soon. Thursday, let it be a Thursday. Tell her she shall be married to this noble earl. Will you be ready? Do you like this haste? We'll keep no great ado. A friend or two. For hark you, Tybalt being slain so late, it may be thought we held him carelessly, being our kinsman, if we revel much. Therefore we'll have some half a dozen friends, and there an end. But what say you to Thursday?
My lord, I would that Thursday were tomorrow.
Well, get you gone. A Thursday be it then. Go you to Juliet ere you go to bed. Prepare her wife against this wedding day. Farewell, my lord. Good night. For me, it is so very late that we may call it early by and by.
Wilt thou be gone? It is not yet near day. It was the nightingale, and not the lark, that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear. Nightly she sings on yon pomegranate tree. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale.
It was the lark, the herald of the morn, no nightingale. Look, love, what envious streaks do lace the severing clouds in yonder east. Night's candles are burnt out, and jocund day stands tiptoe on the misty mountain tops. I must be gone and live, or stay and die.
Yon light is not daylight, I know it I. It is some meteor that the sun exhales to be to thee this night a torchbearer, and light thee on thy way to Mantua. Therefore stay yet. Thou needst not be gone.
Let me be ta'en. Let me be put to death. I am content, so thou wilt have it so. I'll say yon gray is not the morning's eye. 'Tis but the pale reflex of Cynthia's brow. No, that is not the lark whose notes do beat the vaulty heaven so high above our heads. I have more care to stay than will to go. Come, death, and welcome. Juliet wills it so. How is't, my soul? Let's talk. It is not day.
It is. It is. I hence be gone away. It is the lark that sings so out of tune. Oh, now be gone. More light and light it grows.
More light and light, more dark and dark our woes.
Madam!
Nurse!
Madam, your lady mother calls you to her. The day is broke. Be wary, look about.
Then window let day in, and let life out.
Farewell. Farewell. One kiss, and I'll descend.
Art thou gone so? Love, Lord, my husband, friend, I must hear from thee every day in the hour, for in a minute there are many days. Oh, by this count, I shall be much in years ere I again behold my Romeo.
Farewell. I will omit no opportunity that may convey my greetings, love, to thee.
Oh, thinkest thou we will ever meet again?
I doubt it not. And all these woes shall serve for sweet discourses in our time to come.
Oh, God, I have an ill-divining soul. Methinks I see thee now thou art so low as one dead in the bottom of a tomb. Either my eyesight fails or thou lookest pale.
And trust me, love, in my eye, so do you. Dry sorrow drinks our blood. Adieu. Adieu.
Fortune, fortune, all men call thee fickle. If thou art fickle, what dost thou with him that is renowned for faith? Be fickle, fortune, for then I hope thou wilt not keep him long, but send him back.
Madam! Madam!
Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
Evermore weeping for thy cousin's death. What wilt thou wash him from his grave with tears? And if thou couldst not make him live.
Yet let me weep for such a feeling loss.
Well, girl, thou weepest not so much for his death, as that the villain lives which slaughtered him.
What villain, madam?
That same villain, Romeo.
God pardon, I do with all my heart. And yet no man like he doth grieve my heart.
That is because the traitor, murderer lives.
Aye, madam, from the reach of these my hands, would none but I might venge my cousin's death.
We will have vengeance for it. Fear thou not. Then weep no more. But now I'll tell thee joyful tidings, girl.
And joy comes well in such a needy time. What are they, beseech your ladyship?
Well, well. Thou hast a careful father, child. One who to put thee from thy heaviness has sorted out a sudden day of joy that thou expects not, nor I look not for.
In happy time, what day is that?
Mary, my child, early next Thursday morn, the valiant young and noble gentleman, the County Paris, at St. Peter's Church shall happily make thee there a joyful bride.
Now by St. Peter's Church and Peter too, he will not make me there a joyful bride. I wonder at this haste that I must wed, ere he that should be husband comes to woo. I pray you, madam, tell my lord and father I will not marry yet, and when I do, it shall be to Romeo, whom you know I hate, rather than to Paris. These are news indeed.
Here comes your father. Tell him so yourself and see how he will take it at your hands.
What, still in tears? How now, a conduit girl evermore showering. How now, wife, have you delivered to her our decree?
Aye, sir, but she will none. She gives you thanks.
Soft, take me with you, wife.
I would the fool were married to her grave.
How, will she none? Does she not give us thanks? Is she not proud? Does she not count her blessed, unworthy that she is, that we have wrought so worthy a gentleman to be her lord?
Not proud that you have, but thankful that you have. Proud can I never be of what I hate, but thankful even for hate that is meant love.
How? Chopped logic. What is this? Proud and I thank you. And I thank you not, and yet not proud. Well, Mistress Minion, you thank me no thankings, nor proud me no prouds, but fettle your fine joints against Thursday next to go with Paris to St. Peter's Church, or I will drag thee on a hurdle thither. Out, you baggage, you tallow-face!
Fie, what are you, mad? Good father, I beseech you on my knees, hear me with patience, but to speak a word.
Hang thee, young baggage, disobedient wretch! I tell thee what, get thee to church of Thursday or never after, and look me in the face. Speak not, reply not, do not answer me! My fingers itch! Wife, we scarce thought us blessed that God had lent us but this only child. But now I see this one is one too much, and that we have a curse in having her. Out on her, Hildy!
God in heaven bless her. You are to blame, my lord, to rate her so.
And why? My lady Wisdom, hold your tongue.
I speak no treason.
Good prudence, smatter with your gossips, go.
May not one speak?
Peace, you mumbling fool.
You are too hot.
God's bread, it makes me mad. Day, night, hour, time, tide. Work, play, alone, in company. Still my care hath been to have her matched. And having now provided a gentleman of noble parentage, proportioned as one's thought would wish a man, and then to have a wretched puling fool to answer, I'll not wed. I cannot love. I am too young. I pray you pardon me. But an you will not wed, I'll pardon you. Graze where you will. You shall not house with me. Now look to it. Think on't. I do not use to jest. Thursday is near. Lay hand on heart, advise, and you be mine. I'll give you to my friend, and you be not, hang, beg, starve, die in the streets. For by my soul I'll never acknowledge thee, nor what is mine shall never do thee good. Now trust to it, bethink you, I'll not be forsworn.
Is there no pity, sitting in the clouds, that sees into the bottom of my grief? Oh, sweet my mother, cast me not away. Delay this marriage for a month, a week. Or if thou wilt not, make the bridal bed in that dim monument where Tybalt lies.
Talk not to me, for I'll not speak a word. Do as thou wilt, for I have done with thee.
Oh, God. Oh, nurse, how shall this be prevented? What sayest thou? Hast thou not a word of joy? Some comfort, nurse.
Faith, here it is. Romeo is banished, and all the world to nothing, that he dares ne'er come back to challenge you, or if he do, it needs must be by stealth. Then, since the case so stands as now it doth, I think it best you married with the county. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. Romeo's a dish-clout to him. Beshrew my very heart, I think you are happy in this second match. For it excels your first, or if it did not, your first is dead, or 'twere as good he were as living here, and you no use of him.
Speakest thou from thy heart?
And my soul, too, else beshrew them both.
Amen. What? Well, thou hast comforted me marvelous much. Go in. Tell my lady I am gone, having displeased my father, to Lawrence' cell, to make confession and to be absolved.
Marry, I will, and this is wisely done.
Ancient damnation. O most wicked fiend! Go, counselor. Thou and my bosom henceforth shall be twain. I'll to the friar to know his remedy. If all else fail, myself have power to die.
On Thursday Stay, sir, the time is very short.
My father Capulet will have it so, and I am nothing slow to slack his haste.
You say you do not know the lady's mind. Uneven is the course. I like it not.
Immoderately she weeps for Tybalt's death, and therefore have I little talked of love. For Venus smiles not in a house of tears. Now, sir, her father counts it dangerous that she do give her sorrow so much sway, and in his wisdom hastes our marriage to stop the inundation of her tears, which too much minded by herself alone may be put from her by society. Now do you know the reason of this haste?
Look, sir, here comes the lady toward my cell.
Happily met, my lady and my wife.
That may be, sir, when I may be a wife.
That may be, must be, love, on Thursday next.
What must be, shall be.
That's a certain text.
Come you to make confession to this father?
To answer that, I should confess to you.
Do not deny to him that you love me.
I will confess to you that I love him. Are you at leisure? Holy Father, now? Should I come to you at evening mass?
My leisure serves me, pensive daughter, now. My lord, we must entreat the time alone.
God shield I should disturb devotion. Juliet, on Thursday, early will I rouse ye. Till then, adieu. And keep this holy kiss.
Oh, shut the door. And when thou hast done so, come, weep with me. Past hope, past cure, past help.
Oh, Juliet, I already know thy grief. It strains me past the compass of my wits. I hear thou must, and nothing may prorogue it, on Thursday next be married to this county.
Tell me not, friar, that thou hearest of this, unless thou tell me how I may prevent it. Give me some present counsel. Oh, behold, 'twixt my extremes and me this bloody knife shall play the umpire. Be not so long to speak. I long to die. If what thou speakest, speak not of remedy.
Hold, daughter, I do spy a kind of hope. If, rather than to marry County Paris, thou hast the strength of will to kill thyself, then is it likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death to chide away the shame. And if thou darest, I'll give thee remedy.
Oh, bid me leap rather than marry Paris from off the battlements of any tower, and I will do it without fear or doubt, to live an unstained wife to my sweet love.
Hold then. Go home, be merry. Give consent to marry Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night look thou lie alone. Let not the nurse lie with thee in thy chamber. Take thou this vial, being then in bed, and this distilling liquor drink thou off. When presently through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humour, for no pulse shall keep his native progress, but surcease. Each part, deprived of supple government, shall stiff and stark and cold appear like death. And in this borrowed likeness of shrunk death, thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awake as from a pleasant sleep. Meantime, against thou shalt awake, shall Romeo by my letters know our drift, and hither shall he come. And he and I will watch thy waking, and that very night shall Romeo bear thee hence to Mantua, and this will free thee from this present shame, if no inconstant toy or womanish fear abate thy valor in the acting it.
Give me, oh, tell me not of fear.
Oh, get you gone. Be strong and prosperous in this resolve. I'll send a friar with speed to Mantua with my letters to thy lord.
Love, give me strength, and strength shall help afford.
My brave girl.
Farewell, dear father.
Peter, so many guests invite as here are writ.
But
go, Sirrah. We shall be much unfurnished for this time. Nurse, has my daughter gone to Friar Lawrence?
Aye, forsooth.
Well, he may chance to do some good on her. A peevish, self-willed harlotry it is.
See where she comes from, Shrift, with merry look.
How now, my headstrong? Where have you been gadding?
Where I have learnt me to repent the sin of disobedient opposition to you and your behest, and am enjoined by holy Lawrence to fall prostrate here to beg your pardon. Pardon, I beseech you. Henceforward, I am ever ruled by you.
Send for the county. Go, tell him of this. I'll have this knot knit up tomorrow morning.
I met the youthful lord at Lawrence' cell, and gave him what becometh love I might, not stepping over the bounds of modesty.
Why, I am glad on't. This is well. Stand up. This is as it should be. Huh? Let me see. The county. Aye, Mary, go, I say, fetch him hither. Now, afore God, this reverend holy friar, all our whole city is much bound to him.
Nurse, will you go with me into my closet to help me sort such needful ornaments as you think fit to furnish me tomorrow?
No, not till Thursday. There is time enough.
Go, nurse, go with her. We'll to church tomorrow.
No, we shall be short in our provision. 'Tis now near night.
Tush, I will stir about, and all things shall be well. I warrant thee, wife, get thou to Juliet, help to deck her up. I'll not to bed tonight. Let me alone. Stay. I'll play the housewife for this once. What ho! Peter! Peter! Oh, he's forth. Well, I will walk myself to County Paris to prepare up him against tomorrow. My heart is wondrous light since this same wayward girl is so reclaimed.
Aye, those attires are best. But, gentle nurse, I pray thee lead me to myself tonight, for I have need of many orisons to move the heavens to smile upon my state, which well thou knowest is cross and full of sin.
What, are you busy, Aho? Need you my help?
No, madam. We have called such necessaries as are needful for our state tomorrow. So please you, let me now be left alone. And let the nurse this night sit up with you, for I am sure you have your hands full all in this so sudden business.
Good night. Go thee to bed and rest, for thou hast need.
Farewell. God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint cold fear. It thrills through my veins. It almost freezes out the heat of life. I'll call them back again to comfort me. Nurse! What should she do here? My dismal scene I needs must act alone. Come, Vial. What if this mixture do not work at all? Shall I be married then tomorrow morning? No. No. This shall forbid it. Lie thou there. What if this be a poison which the friar subtly hath ministered to have me dead, lest in this marriage he becomes dishonored? because he married me before to Romeo. I fear it is. And yet, methinks it should not, for he has still been tried a holy man. How if, when I am laid into the tomb, I wake before the time that Romeo come to redeem me? There's a fearful point. Shall I not then be stifled in the vault, to whose foul mouth no healthsome air breathes in, and there die strangled ere my Romeo comes? Or if I live, is it not very like the horrible conceit of death and night, together with the terror of the place, where bloody Tybalt, yet but green in earth, lies festering in his shroud, where, as they say, at some hours of the night, spirits resort? Alack, alack, is it not like that I, so early waking, what with loathsome smells and shrieks, like mandrakes torn from the earth, that living mortals hearing them run mad? Oh, if I wake, shall I not be distraught, environed with all these hideous fears, and madly play with my forefather's joints, and pluck the mangled Tybalt from his shroud, and in this rage with some great kinsman's bones, as with a club, dash out my desperate brains? Look, methinks I see my cousin's ghost, seeking out Romeo that did spit his body upon a rapier point. Stay, Tybalt, stay. Romeo, Romeo, Romeo. Here's drink. I drink to thee.
Mistress, what mistress? Juliet. Fast I warrant her she. Why, lamb, why, lady. Fie, you slug-a-bed. What love I say, madam, sweetheart. Why, bride. What? Not a word? Huh. You take your pennyworths now. Sleep for a week. For the next night, I warrant, the County Paris hath set up his rest, that you shall rest but little. God forgive me, Mary, and amen. How sound is she asleep? I must needs wake her. Madam, madam, madam! I must needs wake you, lady. 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 Alas, alas. Help, help, my lady's dead.
What's the matter?
She's dead.
Only my child, my only life. Revive. Look up or I will die with thee. Help, Coil.
For shame! Bring Juliet forth, her lord is come.
She's dead. She's dead. She's dead. Alack the day.
Alack the day. She's dead. She's dead.
Let me see her. Out alack, she's cold. Her blood is settled and her joints are stiff. Death lies on her like an untimely frost upon the sweetest flower of all the field.
Oh, lamentable day!
Woeful time.
Come, is the bride ready to go to church?
Ready to go, but never to return. Death is my son-in-law. Death is my heir. My daughter he hath wedded. I will die and leave him all. Life, living, all is death.
Have I thought long to see this morning's face, and doth it give me such a sight as this?
But one, poor one poor and loving child, but one thing to rejoice and solace in, and cruel death hath catched it from my sight.
Most detestable death, by thee beguiled, by cruel, cruel, thee quite overthrown.
Alack, my child is dead, and with my child, my joys are buried.
Peace, ho, for shame! Confusion's cure lives not in these confusions. The heavens do lour upon you for some ill. Move them no more with crossing their high will. Heaven and yourself had part in this fair maid. Now heaven hath all, and all the better is it for the maid. Dry up your tears, and stick your rosemary on this fair course, and as the custom is in all her best array, bear her to church.
All things that we ordain at festival turn from their office to black funerals.
Sir, go you in, madam, go with him, and go, Sir Paris. Everyone, prepare to follow this fair course unto her grave.
If I may trust the flattering truth of sleep, my dreams presage some joyful news at hand. My bosom's Lord sits lightly in his throne, and all this day an unaccustomed spirit lifts me above the ground with cheerful thoughts. I dreamt my lady came and found me dead. Strange dream that gives a dead man leave to think, and breathes such life with kisses in my lips that I revived and was an emperor. Ah me, how sweet is love itself possessed, when but love's shadows are so rich in joy. News from Verona, how now Balthasar? Dost thou not bring me letters from the friar? How doth my lady? Is my father well? How doth my lady Juliet? That I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she be well.
Her body sleeps in Keppel's monument. I saw her laid low in her kindred's vault, and presently took post to tell it you.
Is it e'en so? Then I defy you, stars. Note's my lodging. Get me ink and paper and hire post horses. I will hence tonight.
I do beseech you, sir, have patience.
Leave me and do the thing I bid thee do. Hast thou no letters to me from the friar?
No, my good lord.
No matter. Get thee gone and hire those horses. I'll be with thee straight. Well, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. Let's see for means. O mischief, thou art swift to enter in the thoughts of desperate men. I do remember an apothecary, and hereabouts it dwells. As I remember, this should be the house. Being holiday, the beggar's shop is shut. What ho! Apothecary!
Who calls so loud?
Come hither, man. I see that thou art poor. There is 40 ducats. Let me have a dram of poison.
Oh, such mortal drugs I have, but Mantua's law is death to any he that utters them.
Art thou so bare and full of wretchedness and fierce to die? Famine is in thy cheeks. Need and oppression starveth in thy eyes. Contempt and beggary hangs upon thy back. The world is not thy friend, nor the world's law. The world affords no law to make thee rich. And be not poor, but break it and take this.
My poverty, but not my will, consents.
I pay thy poverty, and not thy will.
Put this in any liquid thing you will, and drink it off. And if you had the strength of 20 men, it would dispatch you straight.
There is thy gold. Worse poison to men's souls than these poor compounds thou mayst not sell. I sell thee poison. Thou hast so mean none. Farewell. Come, cordial and not poison. Go with me to Juliet's grave, for there must I use thee.
Holy Franciscan Friar, Brother Ho! This same should be the voice of Friar John. Welcome from Mantua. What says Romeo?
Going to find a barefoot brother out, one of our order to accompany me, and finding him visiting the sick, the wardens of the town, suspecting that we both were in a house where the infectious pestilence did reign, sealed up the doors, and would not let us forth, so that my speed to Mantua there was stayed.
Who bare my letter, then, to Romeo?
I could not send it. Here it is again.
Unhappy fortune! By my brotherhood, the letter was not nice, but full of charge. Friar John, go hence, get me an iron crow, and bring it straight unto my cell.
Brother, I'll go bring it thee.
Now must I to the monument alone. Within this 3 hours will fair Juliet wake. Poor living corse closed in a dead man's tomb.
Give me those flowers. Hence, and stand aloof. Under yon yew trees, lay thee all along, holding thy ear close to the hollow ground. So shall no foot upon the churchyard tread, but thou shalt hear it. Whistle then to me a signal that thou hearest something approach. Do as I bid thee, go.
I am almost afraid to stand alone here in the churchyard. Yet I will adventure.
Sweet flower, with flowers thy bridal bed I strew. Oh, woe, thy canopy is dust and stones. The obsequies that I for thee will keep nightly shall be to strew thy grave and weep. The boy gives warning, something doth approach.
Give me that mattock and the wrenching iron. Hold it. Take this letter. Early in the morning, see thou deliver it to my lord and father. Give me the light. Upon my life I charge thee. Whate'er thou hearst or see, stand all aloof, and do not interrupt me in my course. But if thou jealous, dost return to pride, whom what I farther shall intend to do by heaven. I'll tear thee joint by joint and strew this hungry churchyard with thy limbs. The time and my intents are savage wild.
I will be gone, sir, and not trouble ye.
So shalt thou show me friendship. Hold. Take thou that. Live and be prosperous. And farewell, good fellow.
For all this same, I'll hide me hereabout. His looks I fear, and his intents I doubt.
Thou detestable maw. Thou womb of death, gorged with the dearest morsel of the earth. Thus, I enforce thy rotten jaws to open, and in despite, I'll cram thee with more food.
This is that banished, haughty Montague that murdered my love's cousin. I will apprehend him. Stop, thy unhallowed toil, vile Montague! Obey and go with me, for thou must die.
I must indeed, and therefore came I hither. Good gentle youth, tempt not a desperate man. Fly hence and leave me. Think upon these gone. Let them affright thee. I beseech thee, youth, put not another sin upon my head by urging me to fury. Oh, be gone!
I do defy thy conjuration, and apprehend thee for a felon here. If thou be merciful, leave me with Juliet.
In faith, I will. Let me peruse this face. Mercutio's kinsman, noble County Paris. What said my man when my betossed soul did not attend him as we rode? I think he told me Paris should have married Juliet. Said he not so? Or did I dream it, or am I mad? Hearing him talk of Juliet, to think it was so. Oh, give me thy hand. One writ with me in sour misfortune's book. I'll bury thee in a triumphant grave. A grave? Oh no, a lantern, slaughtered youth. For here lies Juliet, and her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence, full of light. How oft when men are at the point of death have they been merry, which their keepers call a lightening before death. Oh, how may I call this a lightening? Oh, my love, my wife, death that hath sucked the honey of thy breath hath had no power yet upon my beauty. Thou art not conquered. Beauty's ensign yet is crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks, and death's pale flag is not advanced there. Oh, dear Juliet, why art thou yet so fair? Shall I believe that unsubstantial death is amorous, and that the lean, abhorred monster keeps thee here in dark to be his paramour? For fear of that, I still will stay with thee, and never from this palace of dim night depart again. Here will I remain, with worms that are thy chambermaids. Here will I set up my everlasting rest, and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars from this world-wearied flesh. Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace. And lips, oh, you the doors of breath, seal with a righteous kiss, a dateless bargain to engrossing death. Come, bitter conduct. Come, unsavory guide, thou desperate pilot. Now at once run on the dashing rocks thy seasick, weary bark. Here's to my love. Oh, true apothecary, thy drugs are quick. Thus, with a kiss. I die.
Romeo? Paris too, and steeped in blood. Oh, what an unhappy hour is guilty of this lamentable chance. The lady stirs.
Oh, comfortable friar. Where is my lord? I remember well where I should be. And there I am. Where is my Romeo?
This way! This way! I hear some noise, lady. Come from this nest of death, contagion, and unnatural sleep. Oh, a greater power than we can contradict hath thwarted our intent.
This way!
Come, away. Thy husband in thy bosom there lies dead.
Leave, boy!
Stay not to question, for the watch is coming. Come! Go, good Juliet! I dare no longer stay!
Go! Get the ends, for I will not away. What's this? A cup closed in my true love's hand? Poison, I see, has been his timeless end. Oh, churl, drunk all and left no friendly drop to help me after. I will kiss thy lips. Happily some poison yet doth hang on them to make me die with a restorative. Thy lips are warm.
Which way?
Yea, noise. And then I'll be brief. Oh, happy dagger. This is thy sheath. There rust now, and let me die.
This is the place, here, where the lamp doth burn.
The ground is bloody. Search about the churchyard. Go, some of you. Whoe'er you find, attach. Pitiful sight. Go tell the prince. Run to the Capulets. Raise up the Montagues. Some others search.
Here's Romeo's man!
We found him in the churchyard. Hold him in safety till the prince come hither.
Here's a friar that trembles, sighs, and weeps. We took this mattock and this spade from him as he was coming from this churchyard side.
A great suspicion. Stay the friar too.
What should it be that is so shrieked abroad?
What misadventure is so early up that calls our person from our morning rest?
Sovereign, here lies the County Paris slain, and Romeo dead, and Juliet dead before, warm and new killed.
Oh, heavens.
Here is a friar, and slaughtered Romeo's man, with instruments upon them, fit to open these dead men's tombs.
Oh, wife, look how our daughter bleeds.
Oh, me.
This sight of death is as a bell that warns my old age to a sepulchre.
Make way for Montague. Come, Montague, for thou art early up to see thy son and heir now early down.
Alas, my liege, my wife is dead tonight. Grief at my son's exile hath stopped her breath. What further woe conspires against mine age?
Look, and thou shalt see.
O thou untaught, what manners is in this, to press before thy father to a grave?
Seal up the mouth of outrage for a while, till we can clear these ambiguities. Bring forth the parties of suspicion.
I am the greatest, able to do least. And here I stand both to impeach and purge, myself condemned and myself excused.
Then say at once what thou dost know in this.
Romeo there dead was husband to that Juliet, and she there dead, that Romeo's faithful wife. I married them, and their stolen marriage day was Tybalt's doomsday, whose untimely death banished the new-made bridegroom from the city, for whom, and not for Tybalt's Juliet pined. You to remove that siege of grief from her betrothed, and would have married her perforce to County Paris. Then comes she to me, and with wild looks bid me devise some means to rid her from this second marriage, or in my cell there would she kill herself. Then gave I her, so tutored by my art, a sleeping potion, which so took effect as I intended, for it wrought on her the form of death. Meantime, I writ to Romeo that he should hither come as this dire night, and help me take her from her borrowed grave, being the time the potion's force should cease. But he which bore my letter, Friar John, was stayed by accident, and yesternight returned my letters back. Then, all alone at the prefixed time of her awakening, came I to take her from her kindred's vault, meaning to keep her closely at my cell till I conveniently could send to Romeo. But when I came, some minute ere the time of her awakening, here untimely lay the noble Paris and true Romeo. Dead, she waked, and I entreated her, come forth and bear this work of heaven with patience. But then a noise did scare me from the tomb, and she too desperate would not go with me, but as it seems did violence on herself. All this I know, and to the marriage her nurse is privy, and if aught in this miscarried by my fault, let my own life be sacrificed some hour before his time unto the rigor of severest law.
We still have known thee for a holy man. Where be these enemies? Capulet, Montague, see what a scourge is laid upon your hate, that heaven finds means to kill your joys with love. And I, for winking at your discords too, have lost a brace of kinsmen. All are punished.
O brother Montague, give me thy hand. This is my daughter's jointure, for no more can I demand.
And I can give you more, for I will raise her statue in pure gold, that whiles Verona by that name is known, there shall no figure at such rate be set as that of true and faithful Juliet.
As rich shall Romeo's by his ladies lie, poor sacrifices of our enmity.
A glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show his head. Go hence, and have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned,
and some punished. For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.